Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to replace the rear bumper on a 2010 Nissan Frontier. I got this new bumper off Amazon. It was like 300 bucks after it was all said and done. So that's what we're going to put on. These little license plate lights as well. It's actually super easy to do. Let's see if I can get over there. Because if you take a look here, basically this light fits back in here like this. And all you gotta do is just like twist it and pop it out like that. And then you got this piece that holds the light, you squeeze that together. So here's what that took out on the outside. That was this piece, it was sitting like this. And I just popped it for that other side that you saw. Okay, so if your truck's anything like mine, these bolts here are pretty seized up. Actually, these are the only 3 bolts that need to be removed. So here's the back. Here's the bumper, obviously. And I think these are the only 3 bolts that need to come out. Not that one. That one doesn't need to come out because that's just holding this piece in here. These were seized up pretty bad. So it took some WD-40. They're 3/4 of an inch bolts. And I had to use a 1/2 inch breaker bar with the 3/4 inch socket to get these things undone. The bumper's already starting to loosen up. I think it's gonna be pretty easy to take off, actually. A lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Took WD-40, sprayed it on there. So first of all, I sanded off the rust with just a wire brush. And then I hit it with WD-40, let that sit for like 20 minutes. And then got the 1/2 inch breaker bar with the 3/4 socket on it, 3/4 of an inch. And I already got 2 loosened up. Here's the 3rd one. I just want to show you how it can take quite a bit of effort. There, finally. Oh my God. Finally broke it. So then, once I get them loosened up with the breaker bar, I'll just use my ratchet wrench and just finish the job that way to get them off. So I kept 1 bolt on that side. I'm gonna keep 1 bolt on this side, and then basically hold it up, undo the bolt on this side, let it down, undo the bolt on that side. Hopefully the whole thing is just gonna come down easy. And I can just throw the new one on after I paint it. So that's it. So 3 bolts on each side. The thing just slid right out. The trailer hitch actually held it up. So when I took the bolts off of both sides, it just kind of sat there and the whole thing just slid out pretty easily. So just 6 bolts total. Okay, something I forgot to mention because I'm learning as I go. So there's these nuts here that the bolts were actually, so the bolts were coming through here, and then these nuts are in place on this side to receive the bolt. They're rusted in. There's 3 of them. 3 on that side too. What I don't understand is how on earth, if these come out and the bumper is on, how you're supposed to line the bolts up so that you can get the nuts up so that you can get the bolts in on this side. Like, I don't understand. So I'm thinking about just leaving these nuts here because I think they're still in decent shape and they're rusted in place nicely. And then when I put the new bumper on, I will just try to maybe reuse the old bolts, or I think my new bolts might be able to fit the threads in here. And I'm just gonna leave those in place and not touch them because I honestly don't know with the bumper on how on earth you're supposed to line those bolts up in there. Because this thing is like completely, if you look in there, it's completely enclosed. So I have no idea how that's supposed to work. Also, I'm gonna just I've already been knocking it off with the wire brush, just getting these chunks of rust off. I'm gonna just spray it out, and I'm gonna hit it with some rubberized coating, just some rust protect. Okay, I got the painter tarp down, got the old bumper holding it in place, got the new bumper taped up. I'm basically just gonna go over it with like some rust, anti-rust paint, just like real lightly, and then a couple coats of that, and then I'm gonna throw it back on there. Okay, so I went over it with this undercoating. Like, I actually just kind of like the way that looks. Like, it looks a little bit like the bed liner. So I didn't want it super shiny, because eventually too I think I'm gonna replace the front bumper as well with something black, just black it all out. So I'm done. I got it back on just as easily as it came off. Really happy with the bumper. I'm not happy with my paint job. It's just not even, and I should have known, but I still think it looks way better than what used to be on there. Actually, now it's had a little time to dry, it doesn't look too bad. Kind of evened out a little bit. I ended up just putting the old bolts back in because there was enough good thread on them that I just put some WD-40 on it and it went in real nice. So I didn't have to use the bolts that came in the box with the new bumper. They were too short anyway, so I would have had to gone and got new bolts, but I could just reuse the old ones, so they were good.